Hey, this is Stacia, and I'm going to share a rated chess game that I played at the Parma Chess Club. So this is round one, and I played against Jim Slagle. Man, and this guy is like, he's just in my head. I don't know. Like, I used to beat him sometimes, but I swear, like, now I just never beat him. Don't know why, but... So let's look at this game and see what we can get out of it. Actually, I was analyzing it on my own, so I might have some insights to share, but let's go ahead and take a look at it. First, let me delete some extra moves because Lee Chess is making weird arrows lately. Okay, I think I got him. I got most of them. It's good enough. Okay, so he goes b4. So, yeah, this is the Polish opening. It's kind of like the Nimza Larsen, like with b3, except they expand on the queen side with b4, which can be annoying, right? It stops c5, it can stop bishop c5, it can, a5. On a5, they can do things like push the pawn to b5. It's kind of an interesting move. And of course, they want to Fianchetto the bishop to b2. So on b4, I have a line I like against this. It's e5, fighting in the center, bishop b2. Oh no, he's attacking my pawn. I don't care. I take, he takes. Okay, now I can tell you that National Master Bill Wright, he kind of chastised me for playing this way. He said, Stacia, don't you know that, you shouldn't give up a center pawn for a flank pawn. This is beginner stuff. But of course I knew that. He's basically saying, like, why are we giving white the strong center pawns and we gave up our e-pawn, right? But the reason is we get some tempos on this bishop and get a lead in development. It's not like enough to gambit a full pawn, but I guess it is enough to make this little positional concession. So, all right, I like playing this way though. So I go knight to f6 because, well, if you don't do that, you blunder your rook. Not recommended. So let's not do that. So knight c6. After that, bishop e2, d5. He takes, queen takes d5. Again, another really nice move. It looks like they can wreck our pawn structure now, but if they do this, it's like, what are you doing with your life? You moved your bishop here, 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 and here, and then it got traded off, and all your pieces are in the back row, and I have two bishops. Like, sign me up for this position. So, I think black's like slightly better. See what the computer thinks. Oh, it actually thinks minus 1.6. Okay, that's okay, whatever. I hate stockfish these days. It like exaggerates. So queen takes d5, knight to c3. Okay, so I have a choice now. I've played both ways against him in the past. You can take the knight, and I think that's okay. You can do that. We're giving up the bishop pair in that case and the center. But on the other hand, the lead in development shows better from there. Or we can play this other move, queen f5, which I'm not sure how good it is, but it is one of the top engine moves. I remember that. And the only downside to this move is that the bishop actually, I think, would like to go to f5 or have the option of g4. So the queen's sort of in the way, but okay, whatever. So knight to f3 he played, bishop e6, e3, and now I castle queenside. We've played all these moves before. Bishop to e2. And now I'm finally out of theory. It's time for me to think for myself. And I chose rook h to e8. What I really wanted to play here was g5. I wasn't sure. Like, I was like, is this any good? Or like, should I do this? I mean, the idea is g4, obviously. And I don't want to commit the rook to e8 if I'm going to play g5, g4, because then really the rook should go on g8. So, yeah, I just thought here, though, I thought, like, let's say he castles, which he doesn't even have to do right this second. And I play this, Isn't there just knight h4? Like, there's just knight h4. And I feel like I've got to be careful because my knight's actually kind of hanging. So if I go like queen h5, g3, now I gotta watch out. Is there like a discovery here? Like, my knight's pinned, by the way? Like, so I saw this far and I was like, yeah, this is not right. This is not right. So I didn't go for this. See what the computer says about this position. Huh. It actually says only slightly better for white. I'm kind of surprised. It says here I should just go rook h to e8. Wow. Okay, what if they try to kill me though? I don't know, can they play knight b5 or something? I guess not. I kind of have a pin here. Right? Like I'm on that d pawn. Okay, can they go d4 or something? Maybe not. If they go d4, it says we take and probably play knight e4. Yep, black's better. Huh. I would think just here, but then we have knight g5. Ooh, wait a minute. Look at this. We're getting the attack we dreamed of. Yeah, and I've done this to him in the past, and it worked out good. Okay, but this is obviously like way down the line. I'm just trying to understand our goals in playing g5. So I didn't go for g5 though. I wasn't sure. I couldn't figure that out all the way, and I wasn't totally feeling it. So I waited on that, and I just played this move, which I knew was the computer has shown me this is like an automatic move a lot of cases. I wish I knew why. I still don't. I mean, rook to half open file. I mean, I understand that, but I don't know exactly the role. So anyway, so he castles. And now I spent like 4 more minutes thinking. Okay, I spent like 2 minutes on the last move. Now I spend like 4 minutes because I cannot figure out what I want to do here. I could not figure it out. The only moves I could think of were like king b8, which I thought, why do this? There's still an open b file. So I didn't really see why I should do that. But although I think maybe we actually run to a8 in some cases. I think that's the idea. Another move I considered was takes with knight e4, which I think is an option. But then, like, what else? I wasn't exactly sure. So, yeah, let's see what the computer wants. Wow, so computer likes king b8. Says white's slightly better, plus 0.5. It likes a6. A6? What? Man. a6 is a concession, but we really want to stop things from coming to b5. And you know what? I think this game's going to teach me that, as you'll see. Because, yeah, I don't want stuff coming to b5 anymore. I don't like it. Like bishop or knight, they're both annoying. All right, and the other move it gives, which is the top move it gives, actually let me run the engine a little longer. Nope, it still likes it. Still likes this move. Queen g6, prophylaxis. So I think the idea behind queen g6, which I was thinking about playing, I think it's prophylaxis against like a knight d4, a knight arriving on d4, but also to prepare bishop h3. I just thought, why am I doing this when they can go knight h4? And the computer says, don't worry about it. You go queen h6 or queen g5. I mean, you can go back to g5 if you want. You can also here play queen h6, says positions equal. I do see that this pressure could be annoying because the bishop could come to d6. Maybe that's why white needs to play a3 in a lot of cases. Ask this bishop to commit to one side or the other. Because if you come here, you have to worry about knight b5 and knight d4 stuff. So, okay, yeah, and the knight is not well placed here, right? It's just going to get hit by g5. So the knight coming to h4 is nothing. Okay, I think I'm understanding some more stuff about this game, which is the whole reason behind showing it. Okay, so in that game I went g5, yeah. And I knew this is probably not right. So this is a habit I have to break. Basically, my process went like this. I want to be so thoughtful. I want to play the best moves I can find. But in this position, I looked at king b8. I'm like, no, that's too slow. I looked at takes and knight e4, and I'm like, no, that doesn't seem right. Why am I giving up the bishop here? Then I look at g5, and I'm like, no, I already committed my rook to e8. So I could not figure out what to do. Queen g6, I'm like, why am I allowing the knight to hit me with tempo? So every single move I was looking at, I found a reason to not play it. And like almost all these moves are acceptable to the computer. So like I was finding the right moves and rejecting all of them. So then after 4 minutes, I looked at my clock. I'm like, oh, why am I spending all this time? It says rapid chess. And I played g5. Well, g5 was not the one I liked the best out of those options because I already committed my rook. So I kind of wasted a tempo. Also, I didn't understand what g5 did earlier, and I don't think it's changed. So this is just a bad move, I think. So, yeah, like, it's just too slow now. So, he plays knight b5, and I think now we understand why a6 is a thing. Because, look, there is a knight. This knight can now come to d4. And that pretty much takes all the sting out of g4, right? Like, there's no point in even playing it now. And, by the way, it's going to fork my queen and bishop. And by the way, this knight is actually like pressuring my king side. Now we understand why king b8's a move. So yeah, I think knight b5 is like the way to punish this. So Jim Slagle, he knows what he's doing. And if I look at this with the computer, it says knight b5, by far the best move for white. Gives plus 1.5 after this move. So I used all that time and managed to screw up my position worse than I would have played it in blitz. So this is a case of long think, wrong think. That's what this is. Because I know exactly what happened. I was looking at all these moves, finding reasons not to play it, and then I'm like, oh, my time's low. And I just put g5 on the board. Like, that's not how you should play chess. It's not how I should play chess. So g5, I mean, it doesn't lose on the spot, but it's a step in the right direction. Knight b5. Now I go queen g6 because the fork. Knight fd4. Okay, my position is just ridiculous now. I take on d4. Yeah, and again, I calculated, and I thought for maybe, I think 6 more minutes before I took this knight. And this is another error that I make on a regular basis. I made all my errors in one game. Tells you how this game went. Knight takes d4. I'm like, haha, take on a7. I have a plan. And I calculated some long lines. But why am I doing that? Like, what? It just doesn't work. That's the first thing. It didn't even work. But second of all, why am I trying to do that? It's a rapid chess game. You know, like, I was inviting him to actually take on a7 here. I mean, computer says white's winning if they just take, which I barely looked at. I was only looking at if I lose a7 immediately. But look what this does. Now I can't even play king b8. b6 looks horrible. I don't know what to do now. a6 now? I mean, I don't know about this. I mean, it's giving queen a4, which attacks the bishop. Yeah, I spent so much time looking at this silly idea of letting him take on a7, which he does do, that I didn't even see like the more serious threats in the position. So another case of, I think, like partial tunnel vision and partial long think, wrong think stuff. And maybe just ghosts and being insecure at the board or something. Like, I can't really explain this behavior. I felt fine going into the game, but I can't explain this behavior. So it's something that I really need to ponder and work on. But okay, I go king b8 here. This is my idea. Now I'm attacking this knight. I might even go b6 and trap it in, I thought. Or I might, I thought here I would go, yeah, I played rook takes bishop. This is my idea, but this is silly. I knew at this point that I was just going to play some practical moves now, that I was already worse and down on time. So I thought, let's just play chess now, play like blitz game. Well, in a blitz game, I was sack that exchange all day. This is what I calculated. Messes up his pawns, allows my knight to the center. The knight's coming to f4. Okay, I get lots of play now, right? There's knight h3 check ideas. There's finally all the play I was dreaming of. I can push my pawns. I can, I mean, once the knight's here, try to get the bishop to d6 and play queen h5. I was seeing so much good stuff now, but I had to sack the exchange and a pawn to get this play. So it's obviously totally wrong. Totally wrong. That's way too much material for this, which is honestly just like speculation. It's not even like, it's nothing. It's just pressure. It's nothing more than that. So, all right, knight b5. He jumps back out. Knight f4. Bishop f3. We're going to rush through the rest probably now because it's not it's not really that important. g4. Let's attack that bishop. I'm playing like a blitz game. Bishop takes b7. I didn't see this one. Actually, I did. And I thought it might be good for him. But nothing I could do. So now I play bishop c4, forking the knight and the rook. I thought this was interesting. It did confuse him, I'll say that. Queen a4. This is the best response, I thought. And now I take the bishop. Oh, no, I blundered. Well, actually, it probably is a blunder. But I did see that I will sort of escape. If queen a7 check, I thought here. Can I go here? I'm probably lost, actually. What does he do now? There's queen d7. There's... Oh, well, there's obviously queen takes f4. That looks good. I like queen takes f4 for him. But then I take his knight. So, okay, this is lost. Let's be honest, it's not good. So I'm just playing like blitz tricky now. I'm playing too much blitz. It's my estimation. So yeah, he took the bishop. He didn't even play queen a7 check, which I thought he should. And then I take the rook. And here, I thought he should play knight d6 check. Because... Wait, is this right? What is this? Well, yeah, because it's a double check, and I just lose the rook. It's unprotected. And where do I even go? I have nowhere good to go either. So, yeah, I thought knight d6 check here. Rook takes f1 he played. Actually, I'm not sure if he played that move. I think he played something else here. Because I remember him mentioning this after the game. And, like, to be honest with you, we were both... Well, I was in time pressure here. I was under a minute, so I didn't notate this. So the moves I entered may not be exactly right. He was telling me I had some crazy knight h3 check thing, and I see the computer wants it now. So I think the idea is that if I play an h3 check and he takes, I check and I'm threatening mate. And good luck getting out of it, right? Like, we just get checkmate. Yeah, I was looking at this earlier, too. So on knight h3 check, he actually cannot take the knight. It's pretty interesting. So he has to go king h1. But then I can play knight takes f2 check. Because I'm checking the king. If they take the knight, again, we have a checkmate. So finally, some counterplay, right? Finally. So he can't take the knight. So I just won that pawn. So he has to come back. And then knight h3 check, same thing. He can't take because of queen g2 mate and stuff. So like, and again, he can't take because of rook e1 check and mate. So like, this is actually perpetual check. So that would have been a very nice way to end the game. Unfortunately, I didn't have any time because I used it making bad moves earlier. So yeah, this is one of my worst games in a long time. The only thing that could have made it worse is if I just like outright blundered and hung a piece. But I actually hang a pawn in my third game, so it was not my night. That being said, I did win my second game, so I think I actually gained rating points for this monstrosity of a night. No pun intended. So yeah, I guess that's all. I don't want to make you guys miserable with any more of this, so we'll stop there. So anyway, in all seriousness, I hope you enjoyed this and learned something. I think I definitely did. And I'll be jumping back into Parma, ready to get my rating back very soon. So I'll see you then. Bye.